Hello guys, I hope you all are doing good. I am Vaishali Kikan and we are discussing digital circuits. Today in this video we are going to talk about the parallel and the serial adder. First of all, we are going to see what is a parallel adder, then we are going to see what is a parallel subtractor and how I can make a parallel adder or subtractor with the help of the same circuit. Then we are going to see the look ahead carry adder. Then we are going to see its IC and we are going to see then the serial adder, and at last we are going to differentiate between the parallel and the serial adder. So let's start our discussion with the parallel adder. What is a parallel adder? The parallel adder, it's composed of various full adders, right? So if I have one bit in the given number, I can add one bit with one full adder, right? So if the two numbers are like this, if I want to add these two bits, right, so I can use a single full adder. But if I have the numbers like this, if the number is 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, if I have to add these two numbers, I will not be able to add these two numbers with the help of one full adder. What I need to do now, I will be requiring 4 full adders. One full adder to add these two bits, then these two bits, then these two, and then these two. So I require here 4 full adders. These 4 full adders can add 4 bits, right? So parallel adder is an adder in which I have that many full adders, that many number of bits are present in the given number. So here, like we had 4 bits, so I require 4 full adders in the parallel adder. So you can see over here, if I have a n bit number, the another number is also n bit number, I want to add these two numbers, I will use n full adders. This is my first full adder, second full adder, third full adder, and here we will be having nth full adder, right? So now here we have B0 and A0 and the Cin. So we are giving the 3 inputs A, B and the carry, and we are getting the output as sum and the carry output. This carry is going to the second full adder as the input carry. The output carry of the first full adder is the input carry of the second full adder, right? So here this full adder is taking the first bit, second bit and the Cin, which was the C output of the last full adder. It is giving me the sum and again a carry. This carry C out will be the Cin to the next full adder. So again the next full adder will take 3 things, Cin, A2, B2, right? It is going to give me S2 and C out, right? That C out will be Cin to the next full adder, and so on. We have moved to the last full adder. Here we will be having Cin, A and Bn as the inputs, and output are sum, the nth sum and nth carry. This is a block diagram of n bit parallel adder. I hope you understood how I have made a n bit parallel adder with the help of n full adders, right? I will get the output as S0, S1, S2 up to Sn and C out. This is the output that we are generating by adding the two n bit numbers, right? Coming to the parallel subtractor. Now the parallel subtractor is based upon the concept that if I want to have A plus B, it is equal to addition of A plus addition of plus B, and if I want to have A minus B, right, A minus B will be represented as A plus of minus B, right? So this minus B is actually, we have taken the 2's complement of B, and for that what we have done, we have used inverters over here. So we have various full adders, right, and we have taken the 2 input bits. The second input bit, the negative of B, is represented with the help of the inverter. So A0, B0, the B0 is sent with the help of inverter to the full adder, and then the carry is also sent. It is generating the output sum. This sum is actually the difference output, it is D0, and here it is giving me C out, which is the borrow over here. This C out is going as Cin to the next full adder, which is again taking the next 2 bits. One bit as it is and another bit as an inverted bit, right? So it is giving me the next difference bit and the carry. So again this goes on up to we have the nth bit, right? So this is how I will get the carry, Sn, S2, S1 and S0, right? So this is how we can have a parallel subtractor. Why it is called parallel? Because we are giving all of the bits as it is at the same time, right? So A0, B0, A1, B1, A2, B2 up to An, Bn, all of the bits of both of the numbers are sent to the adder at the same time, right? So there is less delay in this case of adder or subtractor. Now if I want to club these two, if I want to club the parallel adder or subtractor, I can make this circuit. Here what I'm going to use, I'm going to use the XOR gate, right? Here M represents the mode input, and this mode input will control that this circuit will act like an adder or a subtractor. So here you can see this is my full adder 1, full adder 2, full adder 3, full adder 4, right? So I have made a 4-bit full adder or subtractor with the help of only full adders, right? So it is based upon this phenomena that I can do the subtraction also with the help of adders. Plus operation is used when I represent B as minus B, right? So for representing of minus B, the invert of B, I will use the XOR gate, right? So A bits are sent as it is to the full adder, right? The B bit has to be either B bit or the invert of B bit, depending upon the what kind of operation I want to have. If I want to have the addition, the B0, B1, B2 and B3 should go as it is, and so that I will take the M input to be 0. So B XOR 0 will be equal to B only. So when I XOR B with 0, I will get B input over here and we will get the addition operation. Now if I put M is equal to 1, here we will be having the first input as B0 and the second input as 1, right? So B0 XOR 1 will be equal to B0 bar. So here I am getting the invert of B0. So thus I can say this circuit will act like a subtractor. So M is the mode which is actually controlling that this circuit will act like a adder or subtractor, right? So now here we will be having A0, B0, M controls, it is adder or subtractor, it is giving the two output S0 and C out. C in was the input carry that we had given to it, right? So C output is going as C in to the next adder, right? So it is giving me the output S1 and C out, right? So in this manner we will generate all of the carries, and these carry will propagate and it will generate the various sum or the difference term, and at last we will generate the last carry. So you can see here this adder will not be able to give the output S1 until it is having the carry C out 0 generated. When the first adder is generating the carry, this carry propagate to this adder, and thus this adder will generate the sum and the carry, and when this carry is generated, it is propagating to the next adder which is generating sum and carry. Again same procedure. So what is happening? Can this adder be generating the output S3 until this carry is generated? No. So this adder has to wait until this carry has been generated. So thus I can say there is a carry propagation delay. The carry from the output of the next higher order stage can't occur until the input carry occurs. So until and unless we have C output 2, we cannot generate C output 3. Right? So until and unless we have input carry, we cannot generate the output carry, and due to which we have the carry propagation delay. This is a delay that is slowing down our adders. Right? So thus we have a look ahead carry adder. Look ahead carry adder is based upon this simple calculation. You can understand what is the working. So here we have the addition of 0, 1, 0, 1 and 0, 0, 1, 1. So when 1 is added with 1, I have 0 and 1 is generated as a carry. Now this 1 is added with 1, again I will get 0 and this generates 1 as a carry. So these two 1 and 0 are added and it is again added with the carry. So again added, it gives 0 and 1 as the carry. So it is generating the output 10000. But here if you add all of the bits without taking the carry into the consideration, so 0 plus 0 would have given me 0, right? 1 plus 0 would have given me 1. 0 plus 1 would have given me 1 if I have not considered the carry that was generated in the first place. So first of all, I have to do the LSB addition. The lowest significant bit must be added, which is generating the carry. So this carry is going to the secondary carry, and this carry will go to the third carry, and the third order carry will generate the last carry. So in this manner, the MSB depends upon the last carry, and this last carry depends upon all of the calculation. And thus, if I have more number of bits, here I just took 4 bits, right, in the number. If I have more number of bits, let's suppose I have 20 number of bits, so we have to wait until 19 carries are generated, and thus I have more carry propagation delay time. So the processor will become slow. So what I have a look ahead carry adder which generate the carry as well as propagate the carry. With the help of carry generation and the carry propagation, we can find out what is the next carry without even calculating the sum output of the first low significant digits, right? I have not added 1 plus 1, but I know here I will be having a carry at the last digit. So that function can be done easily with the help of look ahead carry. So this is the LACA, right, which is the look ahead carry adder. So here we have 2 input bits AI and BI which are sent to the XOR and AND gate. So I hope you remember this XOR and AND will act like a half adder, right? It will be generating PI and GI, right? So PI over here is AI XOR BI, PI is AI XOR BI, GI is multiplication of the 2 bits AI into BI. This PI is sent to again an XOR with the CI over here, the input carry. SI is equal to PI XOR CI, just correct it, right? And here I will get CI plus 1. What is CI plus 1? CI plus 1 will be equal to GI. GI was my AI BI. GI is added with over here PI CI, right? So I have taken PI CI, right? Here I will get PI CI. It is added with GI. So I will get CI plus 1. So here CI plus 1 means the next order carry, right? So if I put C2, C2 will be equal to G1 plus P1 C1, right? If I put I is equal to 1 over here, you will get C2 which is G1 plus P1 C1. C3 will be G2 plus P2 C2. Now here I know the value of C2 which is G1 plus P1 C1. Let's substitute it. So C3 will be equal to G2 plus P2 multiplied with C2 which was G1 plus P1 C1. So I will get G2 plus P2 G1 plus P2 P1 C1, right? Similarly, I can get C4 which is G3 plus P3 C3. So now here I will put the value of C3 from here. So C3 is substituted over here. So when you substitute the value of C3, you will get G3 plus P3 G2 plus P2 C2. Right, again I know what is the value of C2, I will substitute. So I will get G3 plus P3 G2 plus P3 P2. What is the value of C2? It is G1 plus P1 C1. So now you can get it as G3 plus P3 G2 plus P3 P2 G1 plus P3 P2 P1 C1. Now I know what is my C2, I know what is my C3, I know what is my C4, right? So I can make the logic diagram of the look ahead carry generator with the help of AND OR logic, right? When I know the various C1, C2, C3 and I can make the various outputs with the help of AND OR logic. Similarly, I can use the NAND logic, NOR logic also, and I can make the look ahead carry generator's logic diagram, right? Now coming to this structure, here what I have done, I have used an adder to make the look ahead carry adder. I was having a simple adder. What I did, I made it with the look ahead carry adder. So you can see over here, this is the half adder. If I observe this, right, this is a half adder, right? So this half adder will be substituted with the help of this. Before this half adder, I have XOR and AND gate. So before this half adder, we will be having XOR and AND gate, XOR and AND gate, XOR and AND gate, XOR and AND gate for 4 stages, right? And after this half adder, I have here, you can see we have an OR gate, right? But here we have taken an XOR gate. So let's understand what is happening over here. We have taken A1 and B1. right? So A1 and B1, when they are sent to the XOR and the AND gate, we are generating P1 and G1, right? So P1 and G1, now here we will generate the P1 as it is, and I will take the carry. So I will take the XOR of P1 and the carry, and I will get the sum 1. Right, so with the help of carry, I will take XOR of the P1 and the carry, I will get the sum 1. Now in the second case, I will generate with the help of P2 and G2, I will generate the carry 2. The carry 2 is taken and it is XORed with P2, right? The P2 we have generated over here, the carry 2 is XORed with that, and I will get the sum output 2. So we are not waiting till that next carry is generated, right? We have all of the higher order carries generated over here. The last carry will give me as it is S5. The carry 4, it is XORed with P4. Carry 3 XORed with P3. So in this manner, you can see we have used IC 74182, which has the 4 pair of active low carry propagate, that is P0 bar, P1 bar, P2 bar, P3 bar, and also 4 active low carry generate, G0 bar, G1 bar, G2 bar, G3 bar, and it is giving me active high carry. So it is giving me 3 active high carry, C2, C3, C4 and also C5, right? So C5 is the output carry, and in between intermediate higher order carries are C2, C3 and C4. C1 is used as it is to generate S1. I hope you understood what is a look ahead carry adder. So here what will be the carry propagation delay? The carry propagation delay here will not exist, because as soon as we are applying the bit, we are generating the output. There is not much delay in this type of adder. Coming to the serial adder or subtractor. Now we have talked about all of the kinds of parallel adder or subtractor. Now coming to the serial adder or subtractor. Here we will just use one full adder. Here we were using n full adder. Here we have just one full adder. We have 2 shift registers, right shift register A, right shift register B. We are sending the output of right shift register A as A input and right shift register B as B input of the full adder, right? So the carry is taken from the D flip-flop over here. What is a flip-flop? We are going to talk about it in the upcoming classes, where we will be talking about the sequential circuits, right? So D flip-flop, it's just a storage device. It will store the carry. You just remember this as of now. Right, so here we have the output carry which is generated over here. It is fed to the D flip-flop. It stores the carry and it is sending the carry over here. So the adder is going to get A bit, B bit with the help of shift registers, and the carry with the help of flip-flop. It is generating an output carry and the sum. This output carry is stored and again sent over here. Then the shifting occurs in the registers, and the next bits are taken and the previous carry is taken with the help of this storage. So here we will be having a clock which is controlling the movement of the bits from the shift register and also from the flip-flop, right? So here, as soon as the first clock pulse is applied, the clock over here is high. As soon as the first clock pulse is high over here, the flip-flop becomes clear, right? So it becomes 0, right? So this flip-flop store the carry output generated after the addition, and for the first clock pulse it is 0. As soon as the 0 carry is applied, A and B are added, its output carry is stored over here, which is stored with the next addition for the next bit. So here I hope you understood what is the functioning of the serial adder. Coming to the differences between the serial and the parallel adder. So you can see in the serial adder we have used the shift register, right? So in the parallel adder we have used the registers with the parallel load capacity. We are sending the load in parallel, right? Here we will be sending the load bit by bit, right, to the adder. Here we will be using the one full adder circuit only. In the serial adder only one full adder was used. Here in the parallel adder you can see we have used the n full adder for n bit numbers. So here we in the serial adder we have a sequential circuit which is a flip-flop we have used. In the case of parallel adder we are not having any sequential circuit. Excluding the register, it's a purely combinational circuit. Only the registers are there which are sequential, and other than that all of the all of the parts of this adder is combinational parts, right? So the time required for addition will depend upon the number of bits in the serial adder. If I have 20 bits in the A and the B shift register, so the flip-flop has to add 20 times, and how many clock pulses will be required? 20 clock pulses will be required. Now here in the case of full adder, we just require 1 clock pulse. In the 1 clock pulse, all of the bits are sent to the full adder. It just wait for the carry propagation delay, and the carry propagation delay can also be reduced with the help of look ahead carry adder. So I can say serial adder is slower and the parallel adder is faster. If you want to see which one is the slowest, serial adder. Which one is faster than that? Parallel adder. Which one is fastest? Look ahead carry adder. Right? So I hope you can understand now what is the serial adder, parallel adder, and what is the difference between all of them. You can see in the figure we have the cascading of 2 look ahead carry adder, which is done with the help of the carry. The carry which is generated, the higher order carry that we have generated over here, it is sent as the input carry to the next look ahead carry adder, and thus we can cascade these 2 look ahead carry adder, right? So it is possible to cascade the look ahead carry adder to add the higher number of bits in the given number. So if I have, let's suppose, 8 bits, so I can cascade the 2 look ahead carry adders. So you can see in the figure here we have the cascading of parallel adders. We can add 2 parallel adders also. Again, if I have 4-bit parallel adder and if I want to add 8-bit numbers, so I can cascade 2 parallel adders for this addition. I hope you understood all of the things that I have discussed so far. If you have any doubt, you can put the doubt in the comment and I will try to resolve your doubt as soon as possible. I hope you like this session. If you like it, please push the like button, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, download our mobile app, and also give us your feedback. Thank you so much. Meet me soon in the next class.